we're here again this evening outside the Mayo University Hospital, and we have made a short video last night, but I really must say I felt compelled to come back here again this evening because I was just looking through my notes. We spent a lot of time with that young family last week, and I was looking through my notes, and one thing that really struck me was the last words we have of this young woman who is now in an ICU in Limerick Hospital. And she sent a text to her family after being admitted here, and I would say probably against, she didn't want that. She was happy to just get the oxygen and go back home. She had an asthma problem that was under control. She had it, as far as I know, all her life. But she just wanted to come and get the oxygen, go home. No, she was admitted and the family were asked to leave. And when they got home, they got a text from her. And that text said, and I'm just going to read it, she said, "Let everyone know that they are taking me to the ICU." And I'll say that again, let everyone know that they are taking me to the ICU. Now that was something she didn't want, and I do feel that there was a little bit of despair there as she was writing that text.
After receiving the shocking news that their loved one had been put on a ventilator, the family came to the hospital for a meeting with the personnel who were involved in their loved one's care. And those four people were Fiona O'Shea, Dr. Patrick Wiseman, Michelle Duggan, consultant, and Dr. Mohammed Usman Amir. Dr. Patrick Wiseman told them that he had told them that he was putting her to sleep, but then he said that he may not have mentioned the word ventilator. Now this is incredible. A ventilator is it's a life-threatening intervention. It's very serious, and yet he felt able to tell them that he may not have mentioned the word ventilator. So it's incredibly serious and concerning. The family requested simply that they would receive even a verbal overview of their loved one's care. Simply that Fiona O'Shea would simply tell them how the treatment was given, some information on medication, etc. Fiona O'Shea turned to them and said that you will not be getting that information, and that if you want to get it, you need to go through freedom of information. And as you probably know, that is a months-long process whereby you have to wait for months in most cases to get information, and that's just simply unacceptable.
Fiona did walk out of the meeting, and she said she wasn't happy at all because there was another person present who wasn't part of the family, but the family did request that they be there because they needed assistance. I really do believe that Fiona O'Shea and Patrick Wiseman, they do have a lot of questions to answer. And I would encourage you to call the ICU department here and ask for those people. That's Fiona O'Shea, the clinical nurse manager. And as far as I know, she has been working here at this ICU department since the beginning of COVID. That's in March 2020. And I noticed as well that when this young woman was being taken out here at the back of the hospital and put onto the ambulance, and when all the guards were lining up to block the family, and they were in a desperate state, they were weeping, they were crying, to block the family, that Fiona was present as well with the guards and the security. And I would just like to reiterate those words again, the last words of that young woman. She said, "Let everyone know that they are taking me to the ICU." And I would ask you today, if you're listening to this video, for the sake of your own sons and daughters, for the sake of your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your sons, your daughters, that you would do all in your power and to ask the questions that need to be asked of Fiona O'Shea and Patrick Wiseman. Then we have Michelle Duggan and this other man, Dr. Mohammed Usman. They need to answer questions. And I don't believe this is an isolated event. It has been going on since for the last months and years. And we do need answers to these questions. We need to feel safe in this hospital, in this ICU department.